guys, Winnie here from Dress So Cute. Today we're going to be making plastic shrink art. I was really inspired to try out this craft because it uses things that I usually have at home. I don't have to go out and buy anything fancy to make this craft. So the first thing you need is this container. These containers usually hold like cookies, baked goods. It's the harder kind of plastic, not the ones that hold the berries. Those are the soft ones with all the holes on the sides. Whatever plastic you use, please give it an experiment with it first. Just cut out a little piece first and then try it out before you go out and go ahead and draw everything, because it might not work. So just make sure to experiment with it first. And the second thing you need is scissors, of course, and a hole puncher. This is a 1/4 inch hole puncher. If you don't have a hole puncher, you can always use an X-Acto knife to try to cut out the circle so that you can hang your little pieces. You want to use 1/4 inch or bigger, because anything smaller when it shrinks will be too small to try to put a ring through it. And lastly, you need for sure permanent markers. These are Sharpies. You don't have to use the brand Sharpie, but they just have to be permanent markers so that the ink will stick onto the plastic. Before we started drawing, I wanted to show you what happens when you don't use the right kind of plastic. This one here came from one of those containers that holds strawberries, and the plastic was too soft and it doesn't shrink, and so it just ends up kind of curling up and then flattening back out. But it's actually kind of cool because it just becomes this glossy piece of plastic with your with color on it. So this could also work as something else, but when it does work, this is what happens. It shrinks and it becomes really hard, and see how the thickness, it's pretty cool. It becomes kind of like a gem almost, and it's most beautiful when you see it through the sunlight and it's because it's transparent. And so I wanted to show you the size, what happens when it does shrink. This is what I traced originally, and this is the plastic that came from this original container that I showed you. And this plastic right here came from same kind of container, but the plastic was slightly harder. So it didn't shrink as much as this one, and the thinner plastic did warp a little bit more, and the colors were a little bit more saturated. So I just wanted you to see the difference. So make sure to experiment first with your plastic before you start drawing everything. And notice the size shrinkage. So it's at least more than half. So whatever size you want to end up with, make sure to enlarge your drawing at least double, if not triple. So let's get started and draw. And remove that. So this is the plastic right here that I cut out from the top of the container and the bottom of the container. So it's just the plastic right here, and print out whatever you like. And right here I'm just going to trace this Pikachu because I love Pikachu. And so I'm just gonna lay it over here, and I'm going to use my black Sharpie marker, and I'm just going to go ahead and trace, and then I'm going to come back in with the color Sharpies and color it in. So before I started coloring, I wanted to give you some few tips right here. With the Sharpie, even though it's permanent ink, when it touches itself, when the permanent ink touches the black ink, it will kind of erase it. And so what you want to do is when you're coloring, be careful not to go towards the black edge too much, or else it will remove the black ink. And don't draw too many details, because this is all going to shrink. So just don't sweat the details. Everything, like say these Draw So Cute eyes I wanted to show you, I only put one big highlight because when it shrinks, you're not going to be able to see it. And I made like the bottom parts bigger, things like that, little details. Like say for the Starbucks, I just drew in a few lines, none of the details, so that when it shrinks it won't be too muddled up. And so when you're coloring, just be careful not to go into the black, or else you're going to smear the ink. Now I'm done coloring it and I'm going to cut it out. So it's always easier to just cut out your piece around it first. And then because I know this Pikachu, I want to hang it right here, but I don't want to put the hole right in its head. An option that you can have is to use your hole puncher. It's not deep enough yet. Let's see, let's go in here. Bring in your hole puncher and punch a hole right here where on top of Pikachu's head. It's about right. Sorry, hope you can see that. About right there. I'm gonna punch a hole. Pop it out. And so the hole now is right up here. And so then when I cut, I'm going to cut around this hole so that when it shrinks, so I don't know if you can see this, hopefully. So I'm just gonna cut around this hole to give myself a little lip. And then I can hang this Pikachu without going into its head. And when you cut, another tip is that don't, even though this might be a sharp edge, when you're cutting it, make it rounder so that when it shrinks, it won't be very sharp and you won't get hurt by the sharp edges. So as you can see here, I totally had a fail. Pikachu's ear fell off, and so I guess that's a good thing to show you that what you shouldn't do. I was being a little bit lazy when I was cutting around the ear, and so then I should have gone this way with my scissors instead of trying to force the cut. And so by forcing the cut, it kind of it broke the plastic through the ear, and so now Pikachu has only one ear. But what I'm gonna try to do with this is I'm gonna melt both of these pieces, and then hopefully I'm gonna be able to crazy glue it back so that you won't be able to tell, because I don't want to waste this piece. So, well, at least that was a good learning lesson, and I hope it shows you what not to do. So like I said, oh, also I forgot to mention, when you cut the pieces, always cut outside of the black line. Give yourself this nice black edge, and it doesn't matter if you go outside, like right here, it's I didn't go close to the black edge, and it's totally fine because it's clear, you won't be able to see it. So going outside the line is actually really, it's probably safer, so that it won't get too close to the drawing itself. So this is the toaster oven that I'm using. I've basically just lined my tray with parchment paper, and I'm going to set my oven at 325 degrees. And you just need if you don't have a temperature setting, you just need it hot enough that it will just melt the plastic within a few seconds. And that's how fast it takes. So I'm just gonna preheat it right now and get started with all the melting fun. So there, I'm finally done. I had some fails and I had some successes, but it was really fun learning experience, and I really enjoyed doing this craft, so I hope it really inspires you too. I also wanted to show you what you could do with them now that they're done. I was able to save Pikachu, see? I was able to save his ear by super gluing it, and just remember to not touch the pieces of plastic once they've shrunk, because it's pretty hot. So wait for them to cool down, and you can always use a metal spoon. If they start curling up and they're not flattening enough, you use a metal spoon to flatten them out. But these are just some of the things you could do with them. Just get these jump rings and hook them up together with these hooks. Put them on your backpacks, your little pencil pouches. This one is definitely my favorite, and this one is definitely going to go on my keychain. And so, but if you don't have any of these rings, don't worry. You can always just use a piece of string and just tie it. And they make really cute gifts for your friends and family, or just for yourself to accessorize and just have fun. So there, my plastic shrink art attempt. So I hope this really inspires you to give it a try. And let me know in the comments below how yours went and what you made. Thanks so much much for watching, and please subscribe so you won't miss any new Draw So Cute videos. See you later.